program to bring you a special report.
Welcome to the second Tuesday of last week's news. I'm Michael Michaels.
And I'm Sandy Sanders. Let's get straight into the headlines. Burning Man has announced it will not be holding its famous festival this year, and instead will be moving to an online event.
In order to keep authenticity, the festival recommends burning your house down at the end. This week, the U.S. Supreme Court was holding oral arguments over the phone when a sound of a toilet flushing could be heard during the procedure.
And that officially marked the country literally going down the shitter.
In Louisiana, a rooster has been harassing a local bank's customers and chasing many to their cars.
Turns out he was just targeting everyone with Popeyes.
They were his friends. I don't care how good the sandwich is.
A new TikTok challenge has started trending where people will willingly pee their pants on camera.
Afterwards, the adult babies community sent a strongly worded message to TikTokers stating, "Only we can pee in our pants."
Nearly 20,000 teens in Georgia got their driver's license without having to take a road test since the state waived the requirement because of the outbreak.
Since then, there's been an increase in perpendicular parking.
The only thing we can conclude from that is that some of Georgia's youth should retake geometry.
A lizard in Florida has recently broke the record for having the most constipation of any living animal.
Turns out that the lizard is pretty similar to Michael, considering that they're both full of
Unbelievable. Are you going to continue to pull?
And that's all the time we have. This has been the second Tuesday of last week's news. I'm Sandy Sanders.
And I'm Michael Michaels. See you next week. Maybe. Who knows?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Kristin and Jonathan Morning Show Live. Kristin? Oh, what? Kristin? Is that?
It's the Kristin and Jonathan Morning Show. I'm Kristin, and welcome to a Cinco de Mayo themed morning show.
What? You're in a pool.
Did Luke not clear you for this? I'm confused. I thought this theme was approved by production.
Like, the theme is approved, but they didn't send me a pool.
I mean, well, I think we have to start looking at where those royalties are coming in because, you know, I'm living in a mansion right now. This is my pool. You know?
I'm gonna have to renegotiate my contract because I'm feeling really left out right now. That you have a pool and a mansion, and I'm just out here on the porch.
I've also got a margarita.
Who invented the margarita? Because I feel like we need to kiss that person on the mouth once quarantine's over and we're all clear.
It was actually Marge Margarita, 1850.
Oh, Marge.
Yeah, she had such a miserable life that she actually came up with a delicious cocktail to make her forget about all of her worries, as well as her 8 husbands.
8 husbands. Wow.
Well, that we know of. She said 8. It could have been an 8-ounce margarita. It could have been 8 shots worth of tequila in the margarita.
Yeah.
I'm sure the first decade of her invention was pretty spotty. Right.
Oh, you're being summoned. Was that your time for another margarita?
Damn it, that's one of 8 timers I'll have set off. Every time you hear that chime, it means I'm about to drink a margarita.
Okay. So if you're playing at home, you should also have a drink for the chime. So who do we have tonight? We have Vibe Check, right?
We do have Vibe Check. Those are some pretty fun fellows, always bringing the laughs.
Yeah.
From down under.
From down under. Oh.
You'll see what I mean. Just tune in. And then we also have Monique. Yeah. She is a pretty spirited stand-up comedian. She does a lot of stuff touching on her Filipino background. Yeah. Pretty funny stuff. I'm super excited to see her tear that up. This palm tree is for you. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if they have palms in the Philippines, but I'm sure it's tropical. We got Mark Kendall.
I hope he's okay. Like, I haven't heard anything other than he'll be available for his segment. I don't know what happened after last week. Did he sell all of his stock?
You know what? I bet it's something good. He's always got something good up his water winging, you know?
Yeah. So we've got some Harmony Humpty dance.
Humpty dance, hump days.
I feel like I've gotten it wrong. I don't feel like I'm getting it right.
Or it's so wrong that it's right, Jonathan.
Oh. I'm just gonna call her Humpty.
So with that being said, let's welcome Harmony Humpty.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men could not put Humpty together again. You see, I was sitting on the balcony not too long ago, and I was trying to take a page from my friend's little meditation book here. I fell off 3 stories. You know what I was trying to cancel out the noise of? Jonathan and Kristin. They never get it right. It's rather symbolic. I wasn't sure if it was life imitating art and art imitating life. I don't know. Yeah, a little historical fact about this playful nursery rhyme, or maybe you can gain more respect for the name that got passed down by my great-great-grandfather and his great-great-great. Leading theories suggest that Humpty Dumpty was actually a cannon used during the English Civil War in 1648. The cannon apparently fell off a battlement and was unable to be saved, much like our egg-shaped friend. Hey, it's a Ripley's, believe it or not, fact, but, you know, maybe a little more respect for the name. Sorry about that. I had to go for a second. My cat is trained to use the toilet and she needed me to flush. True story. She needs me to flush between her pees and her poops. I can't make it up. It happens. Emory, darling. Usually she goes number 2 and then she goes number 1. She's frustrated the moment I wake up. She's quite confused. She doesn't like when Mommy gives history lessons. But I did flush for her. And guess what? I don't have a segment for you tonight. But I will see you in your dreams.
I get asked about that sometimes. Like last week I went in for an interview and the guy was looking at my application and he was like, I totally thought you were gonna be black. And I'm like, look, I'm just as disappointed as you are. Born in 97, does that make me a millennial? I think I'm a millennial. I like show the symptoms.
You are.
You know? Like I'm socially liberal, I'm fiscally not doing great right now. I'm into astrology, which is weird because I didn't believe in that at all a few years ago, but like I'm a spineless, people-pleasing Gemini, so I'm on board. I grew up in a really white town, like white as a toilet, this town. And, you don't really know what the nuances of racism and race are. You just have a lot of questions, like why can't the teachers pronounce my phonetically spelled last name, and like why do the other kids not like the lunch, and why is my hair so much better than everyone else's? I dated this other guy who was really sweet. He learned how to say I love you in Tagalog, which is the Filipino language. I don't know if y'all can tell, Tagalog is not my native tongue. So he was like, mahal kita. And I was like, oh, bless you.
And we're back.
Oh, nice towel throw.
Oh, thank you. I practiced it at least 6 times. Can't get the hair to lay just right, though. But what is just right is our time with Monique. Monique, thank you so much for
Welcome.
tonight.
Thank you for having me.
We are so impressed by your set and just who you are. You have this liveliness to you that just infectious, if I'm
Please
being...
tell my mom that. That's so sweet.
Yeah. Yes, tell her.
Don't cry. We've just... So we really just wanted to kind of get to know, your roots. Like, how did you make your way to where you are now?
So I got into comedy a couple years ago, basically when like Netflix comedy specials like started to become a thing. I would just watch them, and then I was just like, maybe I could do that. But it would take several months for me to work up the courage. And like it took a really long, because I didn't really like, act or do improv or anything, before comedy. So like I just like I've never really been on a stage.
Oh,
But
wow.
so I really like hearing myself talk. So it's just like this constant conflict. I spent like several months like writing jokes, and then I went to an open mic with like my friends, my like supportive friends, and I was too late to sign up for like the open mic, but they still had bucket spots. So I like put my like name in for like one of those, and the whole show went on, and they called out names from like, the bucket they were picking names out of, and I didn't get called the entire time. And then the show was about to end, and they were just like, all right, and now for our headliner. And then there's just like a pause, and then they were like, Jim? And then they're like, oh, our headliner left. Are there any are there any comics in the room who still want to do a set? And my friend like kind of just like raised my hand for me. and so I did my set, and I read like from a piece of paper. Like I had no stage presence. I just had like my carefully crafted little jokes, and people laughed because like I was like, this is my first time, and they were really supportive. And now my friends joke that like when I started comedy, I was headlining. So
Right.
Do you have any planned shows coming up? Anything, once all this craziness calms down?
The next show was actually going to be this month, and obviously it's canceled. But I don't know. I'm just kind of like gonna see what happens. I usually just kind of like I post clips every now and then I just beg to be on shows, and then people will let me. Yeah, I've been doing like a thing on my Instagram, like my story, where I just like have kind of a cooking show. But it's just like, it's funny because I don't know how to cook. So it's just me, like the first episode, like I didn't plan for this to happen, but I set off the fire alarm trying to like cook bacon. So there's just like a shot of me running, and then it's just like, all right, so I think we're just gonna do 3 slices of bacon for this recipe instead of bacon. It was like I don't remember what it was, but it was like, it has a lot of eggs and like cream in the sauce, but it ended up just being like scrambled eggs and pasta. So like that's been like the kind of funny thing I've been doing through COVID, is just like letting people watch me cook. I guess it's time to learn life skills, read books, go on walks, eat a flower. Like that's what COVID's doing.
Do you feel like if you had, a book that was written about you someday and it got really big, what would the name be? What encapsulates Monique?
I feel like, if you're in your 20s, you really can't have a memoir about you unless you're like Malala. Like you need to have like gotten close to death to have like a book written about you at like, such an early point in your life.
Right.
Are you gonna call it like the footsteps of Monique? Tonique.
Oh man, actually, I don't know. People don't get to see my feet for free, so I don't know if I would do that. It would definitely just be me and my feet, but the feet are blurred out, and you have to like buy the book to get access. Is that what an OnlyFans is? I don't know.
I think it is. It is. You've been doing comedy for how long again?
I guess it's like almost 2 years now.
Okay. So almost 2 years, and you're also you do some writing stuff.
I published a book in college, and then because I thought I wanted to be a novelist, So I like, you know, before I realized like I really need attention and I need to be on a stage, like before that I thought I would like just write. So but like when I like did write a book and like I had to spend like months like editing it and like sitting in like a dark room just writing, I realized like I don't really like this actually that much, at least not this just like by itself. I write a lot of letters. That's what I've gotten really into that. And yeah, like especially like I did it before Corona, but like especially now, I'm just like, I hope this finds you well. And
Okay, so your letters, are they handwritten?
yes,
Really?
they are handwritten.
Calligraphy or not?
Not calligraphy. They're
Okay.
just like they'll just be like on notebook paper, about like my day or whatever. The other day I used notebook paper with reinforced holes, and like I would send it to my friend, and like at the reinforced holes I was just like, because you're worth it, you know. And at some point I do want to get like the actual materials that like letter writers use, like, you know, some people have like melt wax and like put a seal on an envelope. I would love to do something like that. It's funny, I like writing stuff in like letters that wouldn't like I'll write like sometimes hyperlinks into letters. I'll be like, check out this YouTube video. And it just seems very like anachronistic, like it doesn't seem like it should be in a letter. So
You know, since you have all these writing abilities, what do you do on your day-to-day? Like, what's your 9 to 5?
okay, so I'm in law school right now. That's my day-to-day. That's kind of what I've been like focusing a lot on right now, is just, you know, trying to be like a decent law student. So yeah.
You get like your degree, and she's like, she's a decent lawyer.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, that's the goal, right? Like, I want to become a comedian and moonlight as a lawyer. Actually, like, a lot of comedians, like, used to be lawyers or, like, or wanted, like Dimitri Martin dropped out of law school. He was going to be a lawyer. So I feel like a lot of the same, like, skills and interests kind of go hand in hand.
You did some stuff with Mark Kendall's Crazy Sexy Cool.
Yes, I did. So yeah, so when I got into comedy, I didn't really hang out with the comics like at the beginning. I was very intimidated by like the Atlanta comedy scene. Like now that I've gotten to know them, like it's cool, but like at the beginning I was just like, I already have so much stage fright, like I can't, you know, like I'm not gonna be able to like really do my best here. So when I started doing comedy, it was really like two places. It was the school talent show at college, and I would go to a lot of poetry things and variety open mics because the poets were really welcoming. And what I loved about going to like poetry open mics was like I never had to worry if I was the funniest one there. Like, you know, we're not competing in like the same spheres, you know, although there are a lot of really funny poets, but so I got to really know the poetry crowd really well, and then they would begin to book me on like variety shows that would have like poets, musicians, and comics. Yeah. And so Teresa Davis booked me on Dad's Garage show that had Mark Kendall on it, and so that's where I met Mark Kendall like originally. And then when I started doing like going to more comedy open mics and being more involved with like the like comedians specifically, I got to kind of know Mark through there.
I think it's time to get to our sponsors and then on to Mark Kendall next. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Absolutely. You guys have a wonderful rest of your night.
You too. Hello. It's Jonathan with the Kristin and Jonathan Morning Show. And I've got a special announcement. The announcement is we're about to add a second show, which is a sketch show, to our lineup. So we're looking to add this in the next 2 weeks. So if you create sketches or have sketches that you've already shot and you want them to be on our show, so send them to us via our website that should be showing up right now. There's a form on there. You just submit it attached to the form and we'll get it and we'll look at it. And if it fits for the show, we'll add it to the show. So jump in, start shooting stuff. If you don't have stuff, if you've got stuff that you think would be a great fit for a sketch show, please send that to us. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks with our sketch show. Thanks, everybody.
And we're back. We're here with Mark Kendall. Mark Kendall, hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, you doing all right?
Well, it's hard. I'll say yes. I don't know if anyone tuned in to the segment I did last week, but I made a lot of financial decisions because I thought I'd caught a rare breed of hummingbird on tape when it turned out I did not.
Right.
And so needless to say, there were some financial hurdles that I've been having to overcome, and I'm still dealing with that right now. So what I'm doing right now is I'm selling some things of mine. So I kind of wanted to take that time to sell some of the things that I have right now.
Yeah.
So I'd like to start with like a really cool item, which is this pair of sunglasses.
Okay.
And as you can see, part of the it's broken, which is really cool because that means that they're lived in and they're not perfect. And nothing is perfect. I don't know if you can tell necessarily, but it has smudges on it, which is great. Another kind of like reminder of like imperfection, especially sometimes when you think you're getting good footage, but really you're not getting anything at all. Another thing that I'm selling is this USB cord that goes to like a Bluetooth speaker, but not the speaker. So basically it's kind of like one half of something where you'll never get the other half. And so it's a great way to practice having half of something so you can say that something is half full. And so both of them are about $500,000 each, but I'm willing to go as low as like $5,000 for each one. And basically, like, I accept all kinds of payments. Rolls of quarters are best. So basically, the people that I got into business with, they prefer that I pay them directly. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you're going to want to reach out to the Cookie Monster. I don't know what his Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App are, but I'm sure that they're out there, and that's the person, or I guess technically the monster that you wanna pay. And it's very important that like I pay up as soon as possible. Otherwise, he said he'd take over this segment from me next week.
I can't tell if I'm shivering out of being cold or out of just sheer fear.
Oh, no. It's best not to be afraid. You know what I'm saying? That's what I found. I mean, not to tell you how to feel or anything like that. I'm just saying that, things will definitely not be ideal. You know what I'm saying? If I can't pay Cookie Monster back.
Does he also accept Toll House or Nestle cookies as forms of payment? Or
as far as I know, very much so. But I'm staying positive. And like, I think a real benefit out of this is that I've gotten to meet an icon of public television. And even though it's not like on the best terms, I feel like meeting someone is better than not.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's one thing we can always say about you, Mark. You are always positive.
Oh, thanks so much, Al. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks for being here, Mark. And we're thinking about you every day.
All right. See y'all next week. Bye.
Right. Bye.
Bye. I don't know how to protect him anymore. Like it started out as just like a friendly improv thing, but now he's just fallen, in the graces of some pretty bad people.
Hey, I've heard about Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster doesn't play. We do have a resident baker on the staff, so hopefully we can start the cookies heading that way to keep him out of trouble. Let's go to a sponsor. Hi, it's Jonathan with the Kristin and Jonathan Morning Show. I'm coming to you today because our friends over at Labbit have come up with a new line of pregnancy tests with the same accuracy as the test of COVID. So one of their tests, which is the regular Peon stick, has an accuracy of 40%, and it's the easiest way to test at home to see if you're pregnant. They have another test, which is a blood test, where you go into the doctor's office, any doctor's office, and they take your blood, and it has a 70% accuracy to tell you whether or not you're pregnant. And then their finale, their biggest pregnancy test that they've come out with in this line, is a test that you go into their lab, and they actually stick a camera inside of your girlfriend, wife, mistress, whichever one, to see if there's a baby there, which gives us a 98.9% accuracy rate. Our friends at Labbit are always innovating, and look forward to this coming this fall. Thanks, and we'll see you soon.
We're super happy to be with you guys. Thank Vibe Check for gracing us with their presence. Don't they look amazing, guys? Look at them. Look at them.
Best dress crew we've had so far.
Oh, guys, Were we not starting at 8 p.m.?
No, it's 7:45. I said it so many times.
Okay. All right.
Parker.
So moving right along.
Parker, are you wearing pants just out of curiosity? I'm trying to do a
Yes, I
statistic.
am.
See, he gets it.
All right.
Wear a full suit, gentlemen.
How did all of you guys get together into Vibe Check? I know a few of you guys just through the basement theater and taking some classes and going to all those shows and hanging out at the jams. But so how did you guys come together for A-Will and decide, hey, this is something we want to do. We want to come out as Vibe Check.
We all met from the basement theater, doing like jams there, doing shows there. Tom came on kind of like the tail end of that. And then one day, Matt and Tom were all three of these guys were in a Sketchworks show at Village.
Yeah,
That's actually how I met Tom with Sketchworks.
Yeah. And then after that show ended, Matt had a bottle of wine in his trunk.
As
and
one
we were
does.
drinking it, yeah, as one does. And so we were drinking it in the parking lot. And then we were like, we should make our own crew. And we were like, what do we call it? And like on the way to getting the wine out of Matt's trunk, we were like, what's everybody's vibe? Can we get a vibe check? So that's where Vibe Check came from. We had to tell Matt that he needed to start leaving the wine in the bottle as opposed to us squeezing it out of his floorboards.
Yeah.
How else are you gonna get floorboard wine? You get that oaky taste from actual oak.
I just appreciate that you have a double date in your trunk, just ready to go at any moment.
Yeah.
Oh, we're really vibing here. Double date, going to the trunk.
Well,
I'd love to talk about what Parker's been doing in quarantine. So a couple weeks ago, I convinced Parker, or I think it was just last week, I convinced Parker to watch the cinematic masterpiece Cats.
Okay. I'm going to interject. I hate you, but keep going.
I really feel the love here.
And so Parker, so if you see the movie Cats, there's one good part in it, and it is Skimbleshanks the railway cat.
Railway
the
cat.
of the railway train. And so Parker has started to paint. He took a bunch of notes about it, and so he put them all on an easel and has painted over them and is working on a beautiful masterpiece about Skimbleshanks the railway cat.
Is that what that painting is? It's for that?
Yeah, we have a Discord that we keep to ourselves because we're kosher, and we're not. Here it is.
I think that looks more like Tom's shirt than it looks like a cat painting. But I'm not gonna.
Perfect.
I'm not gonna limit your artistry.
Honestly, that's fine because it's not finished. Have you watched Cats 2019?
Probably like
I'm allergic to cats, so I have not. But
Okay, so you haven't seen Cats 2019.
So you're telling me Cats 2019 is a canvas with tiny words scribbled on it and the shade.
No. I'm gonna no. It's a movie.
I know it's a movie. Damn it.
What you're talking about is my movie canvas.
Right.
My film review.
Right.
Oh, so this is going to be a painted film review.
Yeah.
I need you to hold this up to the camera.
Hold the painting up now?
Hold it up.
Okay.
By God.
You're close. You're close.
You worked on those bricks for so long, and I'm so happy for him because they look good.
He has all of this talent, and he's squandering it on cats.
Tom, what are you passionate about?
Get me commentating on Cutthroat Kitchen, and I'll go all night.
I'm gonna grab some whiskey while you do this.
Oh, some biscuit.
Well,
my favorite
before
cereal.
we get into that, were your pants off?
Yes.
Well, everyone else's was, so I dropped them.
Minute.
I just have stylish.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Just stylish sweat shorts.
Oh
We
my
said
God.
we had to wear this from here to here, and I mean I'm short, but I ain't that short.
Ryan, what are you passionate about besides District 14 and your constituents?
So I like everyone else on Earth have gotten very much into Animal Crossing. I have sunk about 100 hours into that game in a month. It's like some days I'll play for maybe like 45 minutes. Today I played for 6 hours.
It really is real life, but in a video game.
It really is. The only thing that's different is all of my neighbors are animals, and I can afford a house without a roommate.
Oh.
House without a roommate, I agree with, but like all my neighbors are animals. My neighbors, get away! I'm trying to take out the trash.
I love how the animal again he chose was cat. Meow, 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 meow. It's all.
Well, that's
cat
how all the animals talk in Animal Crossing. It's called Animalese, and they just go.
I'm currently on my 4th level Duolingo of Animalese, so I'm getting it.
All right, Matt, what are you passionate about?
Oh, I'm 5'6" and 130 pounds of passion. I have too much passion, if anything. Since the quarantine stopped, started for like the first couple days, it was like, yeah, I'm gonna relax, and I have been busy ever since. I just literally every day, like, I just always make a list of stuff to do, whether it's being a house dad or playing board games with my brother and stuff like that.
Yeah, Matt has wanted to start us doing like morning movies where we all watch movies together and talk on our Discord. And he's like, "All right, boys, everyone's getting up at 9 a.m. We're gonna watch a movie." And then and then we all message him at like 1:30 in the afternoon, like we all just woke up.
The worst part is, it's me saying, "Okay, guys, we'll get up at like 9 a.m. and we'll watch a movie. I'll pick up the movie and all that." I'm already up at 6:30, so I'm just waiting happily
Matt,
by my TV
why are you flexing?
for hours.
It's not a blockbuster.
My
Like
coffee's cold.
you don't have to rent the damn thing. Like we all hang out.
I will say this. They've made it to, I think there's been 2 morning movies so far this quarantine that were super fun.
I got
We watched The Phantom and The Shadow.
I have been for both. I have darked out for the last previous one, The Shadow. The Shadow. It becomes I don't remember much about it.
Yeah, when Parker signed on, I just heard, "Hey, good morning."
All right, so once we're able to do shows again, what's the first thing that you want to do?
Yeah, we were talking about doing a 1940s film noir like long form sesh.
I just can't wait to use Matt as a Tommy gun. That's my.
Well, my boy, you'd call it a Matty gun at that point.
I have to say, though, that is one of my favorite parts of watching you guys perform. Is like, at some point, Matt is going to be an object that is picked up by someone else. And you just assume these are me. You know it's coming. You just walk over and you're, "I'm here."
And
They're very strong. Matt, I'm not a light guy.
Yeah, what I love about Matt is
no, dude, that dude's heavy.
He is
like a small star.
Himself still, like he can, like, it is like picking up. Like it doesn't feel like you're picking up a person. It does feel like you're picking up whatever object he is pretending to be.
Jonathan, Kristin, I thank you guys so much for coming, but I need to ask Matt a personal question. Why have I not gotten enough Trixie pics?
I don't know. I've let you down. I'm sorry, my boy. I'll send you
really
more.
have.
Okay, so Parker has been doing this literally since like the first week I've known him. He will acquire, like, for the first year, me and my wife didn't send him any pictures. He acquired pictures of my cat, and anytime there was a chance to send memes to me, it was my cat. Which, it's a good bit, but it's been like 3 years, and he has more pictures on his phone of my cat than us.
I have 273 photos of Trixie.
We got a word from our sponsors.
For our sponsors.
Doritos have chosen Tom as the chosen
Swiffer.
candidate.
Is your floor dirty?
Phone, wallet, keys. There's just not enough room in these itty-bitty pockets.
Is this you? Do Do you hate how tiny and stupid and useless your pockets are? Why fuss over your pockets when you can have infinity pockets? Pockets that go all the way down.
Infinity pockets? Pockets that go all the way down?
Infinity pockets.
Wow! These infinity pockets, pockets that go all the way down, go all the way down!
All the way down.
These pockets go all the way down!
All the way down.
Wow, these infinity pockets.
Infinity pockets.
In these pockets, I can fit my phone, my wallet, my keys, my meds, my accordion, this cat? Whose cat is this? There's no end to these pockets! Thanks, Infinity Pockets, pockets that go all the way down.
Call now to order your very own pair of infinity pockets. Pockets that go all the way down. Pencil separate.
What are you? Why are you?
Just.
We're finishing.
Okay. Okay, now we're good.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been one hell of a show. I gotta say, this has been the most fun one to date. It's very transparent that, you know, this show is headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
There's clearly nothing in our way of becoming one of the most renowned morning show lives ever.
The most talked about talk show that is live, morning time live. Give yourself a round of applause to making it to Friday night, Cinco week. Celebrating all week. I have moved to water.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks for being here. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to all our wonderful guests. We had Vibe Check. We had Monique. We had Harmony Humpsties.
We're recording a show over
Mark
here.
Kindles. We're gonna cut the feed before Kristin gets into a fist fight and goes to jail.
An altercation. All right, thanks. Shut the f*** up.